Serious, what's the scariest thing you've experienced that you have photo evidence of? Three years ago, a brand new redneck family moved into the house next to my dad's. They decided to have a huge 4th of July party, and invited dozens of people. Apparently bought a ton of fireworks, and decided to do a mini show in their huge backyard. My dad and I were watching from his back porch, where we had a good view but were still away from their party. They started the show, and a few nice explosions went off. I'm a photographer, so I decided to try to snap a few pics of the fireworks while we watched. All of a sudden, about 5 minutes into their show, there was a huge explosion, and then the entire sky lit up, bright as day. Dumbasses set off every single firework at once. It was like a war zone. As the explosions stopped and the smoke cleared, you could hear someone screaming a man's name, and they all tried to find the person. Eventually he was found safe. But it was the craziest thing I've ever seen, in the moment. I was riding a quad along a remote trail with two friends, and I don't know how, but I run into a pointed stick and speared into my neck. I pulled it out straight away, but it was bleeding pretty badly, and for a brief few seconds I didn't know if I was going to die right there or what. I had to get doubled for an hour to where a chopper could pick me up, and spent 5 days in hospital. The stick severed the jugular vein but thankfully just missed a major artery. It nearly went all the way through my neck. I was hiking towards a volcano and it erupted. Took this pic after about 20 minutes and many kilometers of frantic running. I apparently would have been fine, but I'm from Saskatchewan and we do not have volcanoes, so I was unaware. Extra bonus, I was 4 weeks out from a mastectomy and wasn't supposed to do any cardio for another 2 weeks. I fell down and ate beep on the lava rocks. I was doing some night hiking and was about a mile from where I was going to be picked up by a friend. I didn't have cell service, and I was walking quickly to make it to the trailhead on time. Along the path, I saw two eyes staring at me, lit by my flashlight. I froze. The eyes were too high to be a small animal. It turned out to be a bull on the path, which was still pretty terrifying. Who hikes at night? I'd be terrified in the most ordinary of places. I caught Rocky Mountain spotted fever from a tick bite. Known to kill. I'll try to find more pics, because it got much worse after this. It spread everywhere except my face and junk, thankfully. Went to several doctors who were all like, "Holy duck, you gon' die, son, no idea what's wrong." I was put on numerous antibiotics and steroids. The picture is how I looked when I first went to the clinic. The doc was like, "We're going to give you the biggest steroid shot we have on location." She came back with a syringe that looked like a damn push pop. Shot it in my right side ass cheek. I'll tell you, that shot is definitely in the top 5 most painful things I've ever experienced. So much liquid, nowhere to go. I could feel the tissue under my skin tearing and ripping as she pumped me up. I couldn't sit back down, almost passed out, and puked in the sink at the clinic. My condition worsened over the next several days. My fever was over 104 Fahrenheit several times. The rash enveloped my whole body. It changed from red and bumpy/raised to purple, then almost black. By the time my skin was turning black, the rash was losing its texture. I think I was getting better at that point, but it looked like my skin was rotting off. I couldn't wear clothes for like a week. So itchy I couldn't sleep. I went to 3 different doctors and had all sorts of blood work and tests run. Nothing conclusive ever came back, but 2 of the doctors said that Rocky Mountain spotted fever fit my symptoms. Unusual for it to happen at all, let alone in Ohio. Ticks were bad that year. Never found one on me or any sign of bite, though. However, several family members picked ticks off themselves during the ordeal. Edit adding a tidbit from my comment below to elaborate/shout out to my sister for potentially saving my life. It especially scares me because several doctors were just like, WTF mate, this is duct, and had no idea what it was. My sister was/is going through medical school, and she's the one who said Rocky Mountain spotted fever first. We mentioned to the doctors about our MSF, and it wasn't until then that they decided to treat it as that, and got me on the correct antibiotics. I had been probably 4 or 5 days before this came up. Edit 2 I live in Illinois now, but I'm currently visiting family in Ohio. I've checked both my phones, and I don't have any pictures after this. However, I think there are pictures on my computer back in Illinois where my condition was worse. It'll be at least a week before I'm back there. I guess you can check this comment/my post history in a couple weeks. I'll try to remember to update this or make a post in r/WTF or something. Feel free to remind me/inquire further via PM. Getting ran off the road into the divider by an arsehole driver and flipping my Jeep multiple times going 70 on the interstate. The first pic was taken off of someone's Facebook. Someone posted the pic and said, "Hope the guy is okay. Cool to see everyone help," kind of comment. A friend recognized my Jeep and tagged me. The other 2 I took. I flipped multiple times, but have no idea how many times. Someone there said 10, but I find that ridiculous. Miraculously I didn't have a single scratch at all. Walked out of it fine, no issues besides whiplash. Edit, I keep getting asked so I'll just edit. The other driver initially kept driving. Witnesses all said, yeah, they bailed. The cop asked me to describe the other vehicle, I don't know, late 80s, early 90s grey Toyota pickup truck with faded white. The cop interrupted, like that one? And there they were, back again. But they stated I merged into them. I showed the cops, well here's this skid mark where I attempted to avoid them, and here's a skid mark where I overcorrected, and here's this skid mark where I started flipping, and none of them are in his lane, so. Insurance fought it out and couldn't find the person at fault during their investigation. They did end up paying me out for totaling it, more than I paid for it, so I was happy. They just took 2 months to do it because I was technically doing it for work, but I had nothing in my policy forbidding it. I guess they just wanted their lawyer to take 2 months to read 3 pages. Man, guess those roll bars aren't just for decoration. Just gonna make a long story short. My friends and I went to a rave in Texas. Afterward we were hungry and there was a pizza place near our hotel. We get out of the taxi and see this creepy ass place with huge clown heads on the side. I said, "This is the place?" And my friends were like, "I think so." We head inside this building and immediately see this. was people sleeping on the floor in there and it looked creepy as duck. Turns out the pizza place was a little truck right next to that place. Very weird. Edit, thanks for all the upvotes guys. Really appreciate it. It is super happy fun land, definitely not what we were expecting. Love you guys. Thanks, I hate it. The time I had a seizure while I was driving. To be continued. To find out what happened, subscribe and be on the lookout for part 2.